Wherever there's an episodic series, you can bet two men will talk to you. AJ Talon and Owen Finch give their thoughts on Owen and AJ Talks.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Owen and AJ Talks. On a random day that we didn't expect to be doing a video, but I'm Owen Finch, and I'm here with
AJ Talon, and here with our guest star, Moo the Cat. Mickey the Cat might make a guest appearance later on. We'll see how he's feeling.
Might be a fight. There might be a fight on the show.
Yeah, there might be. Like if you just hear cats fucking arguing in the background, that's them. Kind of funny story about today is I was actually supposed to go to work today, but I had overtime, so I showed up, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, Talon, go home." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I called Owen to be like, "Hey, I got to do some stuff first, but video tonight." And he was like, "Yeah, sure, fuck it, why not?" So we're back for another Danny Phantom episode because I've been wanting to do this one for a while.
Yeah, we were kind of talking off camera. Like in hindsight, maybe it would have made more sense to do Ben 10, considering the fact that we haven't done Ben in a while. We've been doing a lot of Danny Avatar and stuff lately, but we had already watched the episode by the time I said something, so it was too late. So.
Yeah, but this is a really good episode. I think I've told Owen off camera. I might have said it on camera as well. But two of my favorite characters in the show, they kind of bounce back and forth between number one and number two. But Jazz Fenton and then Valerie. And then obviously last episode was a big Jazz episode. And this one is, of course, Valerie's like, not introduction because she's been a background character for a while now. But this is her first like proper like spotlight. Like we're really getting to know her as a character this episode. So I was really excited for this one.
Yeah, I was too. You know, I always forget that some of these episodes were these early. Like, I kind of remember, like, not Ultimate Enemy. Bitter Reunions was, like, pretty early on. Because Danny wasn't really used to his powers yet and everything like that. But I didn't realize that, like, My Brother's Keeper was, like, the next episode. And that ended up being a pretty big episode. And this episode was earlier than I thought. I always thought that it was, after a few episodes, like Fan in the Flames and Teacher of the Year. Because... but no, according to this, it's sooner than we thought. But AJ, you get to guess the air date for this episode. I'm pretty sure I guessed last time, so it's your turn to guess this time. So,
yep, 2004, I believe, is when it started. I don't think it's into 2005 yet. I'm gonna guess because Fright Night is in a couple episodes, and I'm assuming that was like October. I'm gonna guess this is like September 10th, 2004.
Oh, you're very close. It's September 24th, 2004. So.
Wow, that is actually surprisingly close. Yep, see, because I knew it. I knew Friday Night's in like 2 or 3 episodes, so I knew that one was going to be like around Halloween.
Yep, and that's coming up. Now, obviously, they could pull some bullshit, and like when the Fight Night episode actually like happens, like they could have taken like a week off, or like they could like be pumping, 2 episode it type of thing. But let's kind of go through some wiki stuff, because we're back. We're doing a review, and the last review we did, there was no wiki shit to be spoken of in the last review we did. So, but the story was written by Steve Malmo. We've talked about him before, but he's written a lot of the Danny episodes. He didn't write the episode. He just did the storyboard, actually. So he did the storyboard for... we're going to hear about him for a while, AJ, because he's done the storyboard for episode 4 up until episode 15. And then we're going to see him again in Ultimate Enemy, Secret Weapons, Eye for an Eye. And he's credited with writing the first 3 episodes, and then Bitter Reunions, Public Enemies. In season 2, he's credited as writing Memory Blank, Rainstorm, The Ultimate Enemy, The Fight Before Christmas, Flirting with Disaster. I'm going to guess that he's probably written all the Valerie episodes, which makes sense.
Yeah, which is cool. Kind of like how Aaron, whatever his name is, was heavily involved in all like the Zuko episodes in Avatar. I do like it when they kind of have like a designated writer for like certain recurring characters.
I will say though, he doesn't have any writing credits for season 3, and season 3 is like the worst season of Danny. So we may have to revisit that if he's if he doesn't have any writing credits. So, and then Sibs Ventress wrote the episode. He's written a lot of episodes in season 1. He wrote Parental Bonding, Attack of the Garage Sale. He wrote Bitter Reunions. He wrote the last episode, My Brother's Keeper. We're gonna see him again in Teacher of the Year, 13, Public Enemies. Season 2, he wrote The Ultimate Enemy, and he wrote Kin Tuck, Double Cross My Heart. I'm pretty sure isn't that the Valerie episode where like they like so dated? I'm pretty sure it's that one. I could be wrong, but
I hope it's not the worst episode of Danny. You know, with the white-haired guy.
Right. Eye for an Eye, and he wrote Torrent of Terror. He doesn't make a lot of appearances in season 3, so again, we may have to come back to that, AJ. So, and then,
yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm pretty sure the one where he starts dating Valerie is flirting with Disaster.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I'm pretty sure My Heart is like the worst episode of Danny with the white-haired guy.
Yep. Maybe he just had a bad day though, because this episode's good. Maybe he just had a bad day.
Yeah, it's not a bad. So, all right, I'm gonna write the worst episode of Danny just for fun.
I don't think he's worked on all the Valerie, like the writers worked on all the Valerie episodes, because I didn't see Flirting with Disaster in there. And then this was directed by Wincat Akala. That's a weird name to have, but sure. He's written a lot of episodes in season 1. He wrote this one. Fan in the Flames, Teacher of the Year. He wrote a lot of the season 1 episodes. He wrote Life Lessons, that's a Valerie episode, I'm pretty sure. Boxed Up Fury, well, directed, not wrote it. Fright Mail. He doesn't make any, that's in season 3. He doesn't make any appearances in season 2. I don't know where he went, if he just took a break, but, we'll have to see what happened.
He went to Belize for a bit.
Yeah. And then Butch Hartman directed this episode. He's the creator of Danny Phantom, so that makes a lot of sense. This is a big episode. Actually, I don't think he didn't direct the last one, did he?
I don't remember.
But then again, I think I always make this joke because it's very much known. Who knows how much he actually did direct it? Because don't forget, if he always puts his name on something, just even if he did like very little work, actually directed it. Like so. And then Joe Hashiguchi also was a director for this episode, and her wiki's very blank. Honestly, remember I say how blank the Kiss Sis wiki is? Her wiki might be more blank than the Kiss Sis wiki. I don't know.
Wow, that is a feat.
So, yeah, that's not good. And this was storyboard, and the storyboard was done by Ian Graham and Eric Weiss. Ian Graham did the storyboard for Bitter Reunions, Teacher of the Year, Fright Night, Public Enemies, and Lucky in Love, which is really weird. On his wiki, this episode isn't there, but he did it, so that's weird. I guess that has to be updated. And Eric Weiss did the storyboard for Mystery Meat, One of a Kind, Attack of the Garage Sale, Parental Bond, Splitting Images, What You Want, and Prisoner's Love. And for some reason, this episode's not on his wiki, so someone's gonna update his wiki, I guess. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Let's actually start talking about the episode. So, the episode
this episode 10 of out of 20 for Danny Phantom season 1. So yeah, we're officially at the mid-season. Only took us like 3 years.
Yep. But we're halfway there. Halfway there. Fortunately, we're not gonna pull the SpongeBob method where he's already halfway there type of thing. Pretty sure that's the last episode of SpongeBob we did too, which is pretty funny. So,
I was thinking of Big Time Rush, that song. We're halfway there.
Yeah,
looking back.
I didn't think you would get that reference, so I didn't use that one. So,
okay, yeah. No, I like Big Time Rush. Yeah, I know. It's shocking.
You didn't know you didn't know better then, so.
Yeah, I know. Right? I was about to say my grandfather probably thought I was gay.
Could have. But yeah, so I'm really happy we're halfway there though. And this is gonna be our last big Danny episode for a while because we looked ahead. There's some big ones. I'm pretty Public Enemies is a pretty big one, and I guess depending on what you think, the finale of this one's going to be a pretty big one because we meet Control Freak Show. Yeah,
I will say that's something I want to before, because we're already taking forever to get into the actual episode. But that's something I got to praise Danny season 1 about, is that, like, they really hit it out of the park with its villains. Like, all of them ended up being staples, of, like, going forward. Like, we haven't really, well, I mean, most of them, like the lunch lady isn't really, like, anything. But, like, for the most part, all these characters are all really, like, entertaining, and they've, like, made returns. Because, like, look at, like, fucking Ben season 1, only, like, half of the villains, like Dr. Animo or Kevin really become, like, big deals, and, like, because, like, in Ben 10, who the, what the fuck was his name? That wasn't even his name, John Miles.
Yeah, I messed it up.
The name we gave him. Like, believe it or not, John Miles does not become the next fucking breakout hit at Ben.
He was a really bad villain in that episode too, actually, too. So
yeah, like, imagine being so bad at your job that you could just like, as a black market guy, that you could just fucking Google your name and that's you come up like your entire life.
I still forgot it though, so that must mean something. So
well, imagine being that guy, like, you're known as a black market guy, and you just, like, give out your name. You don't make, like, a fake name.
Nah, you can't be doing.
Give out your name.
And don't forget the Dr. Animo episode of Ben 10. You had to tell me, because they ended off like he's being conquered, like that.
Yeah. Like, in that episode, you don't get the vibe that he's going to come back. Yeah, but obviously Dr. Animo becomes, like, one of the most recurring villains in Ben 10, but you don't get that vibe from that episode.
Yeah.
Whereas Danny so far, like, Technus, Skulker, Vlad, obviously Valerie in this episode, like, they really set them up that, like, these guys are going to be, like, staples of the show going forward, and they really get you invested in their characters, and it's like, Danny season 1 has been great at that.
And I feel like, too, the best way you know that, too, was, like, a lot of the episodes where we've seen these villains, like, you get like, they've left it open-ended whether or not they are going to come back. Like, as we'll talk about...
Right, because, like, Lunch Lady doesn't really come back in any meaningful way. But, like, the way the episode ended, like, if they wanted to, they could have. And, like, she's, like, in the background occasionally.
Yeah. Like Walker, they kind of set up, like, he could come back type of thing. Vlad, they've obviously set up like he could come back type of thing, and he actually does come back actually. So.
Yeah. Again, he pulled a Zhao. Like, he's not supposed to be within 20 miles of any children, but he's breaking his court order.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm really happy that Danny's struck it out really well with these villains and everything like that, which has been good. And I think Danny. I think Danny and, like, Jimmy and maybe Fairly Odd Parents were, like, kind of the only shows where, like, they struck it out real well with the villains. Because Jimmy Neutron had the same, like, success rate where all the villains in season 1, like, came back and everything like that. So
yeah. Danny's been doing a great job with the Rogues Gallery. So I guess we should get into the episode proper now.
But yeah, the episode starts off at school. And this is like after school hours, I think. I don't know, because, as we talked about, it seems like every show that we cover, it seems like they have a lot of time between classes. So, But yeah, Danny is being chased. And I think we're meant to, like, think that this is probably, like, a ghost or something, but it's not a ghost. It's, he's being chased by his bully Dash. And, the reason that Dash is chasing him is because he got a D on a spelling test. So, I like that this is a recurring thing. Like, Danny mentions anytime Dash gets a bad grade on his test, he just takes it out on Danny, which I just think is hilarious. They
really, I love it because, like, Danny even says, like, it has nothing to do with Danny. Dash is just like, well, I like that they set up Dash as, like, he's a bull. He's, like, supposed to be, like, the cool guy, but he's just kind of a loser.
Yeah, and I think every episode he's been in, they've, like, wrote him that way too. Like, don't forget, he even said himself, this is his peak in high school. This is his peak. This is where he's gonna peak, and he got a D on his spelling test. So,
yeah, I know, right? That's great. But yeah, Dash is dashing towards Danny.
And doing all of this, we see Paulina. Quan, and we see Valerie, sort of, because this is actually a little fun fact. So obviously we talked about this when because we've seen Valerie a few times, like, in the background and everything like that. But Valerie has a new voice actress now. Obviously, We've mentioned this before because obviously when we've seen Valerie, it's always really weird that they change a voice actress. But now she's voiced by Cree Summer. I think that's how you say that.
Yeah, and then this one is like the one that sticks. Because I'm guessing before, because Valerie was, again, just kind of like a background character. She was just like a popular girl. So they kind of just gave her like whatever voice. But now that she's like actually going to be like a focus character, they're like doing more with her.
Yeah. And I like this voice.
Like season 1, so they must have known that she was going to be like an important character. So it's just weird that they like gave her like a different voice actress before now.
Yeah, that is weird. But
because it was like season 2, they decided to like make her a focus character. That'd be different. But it's like they must have known, cause they must have known they were going to do something with her.
Maybe something happened. They couldn't get like the voice actress they had planned originally. Maybe she was busy, type of thing. So,
yeah. It just kind of funny. Although I kind of wish they called attention to it. Like, I always think it's funny when a show like calls out that a character sounds different.
I think the best example was the Family Guy one with Dr. Hartman and like Lois's dad like are in the same room and they like acknowledge like that type of thing.
Yeah, they're like, we sound too similar.
Yeah.
I was thinking iCarly, like beginning of a new season, Freddy's voice is like deeper because obviously they took a break between seasons.
Yeah.
And Sam's like, hey, why does your voice sound deeper?
Right.
Or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, at the end of one of the seasons, Leonardo gets put into like a coma. And at like the start of the new season, he's voiced by a different guy, Seth Green. And one of the characters even points out, like, why does his voice sound different? Like, I don't know, his voice cords got like damaged or whatever.
But yeah, so Valerie's voice actress is different. Obviously, we like this one better, but again, that's obviously tough to say because we're so used to this voice actress versus the voice actress she had before. But Valerie got a new sweater, and everyone's really, Paulina and Quan are commenting on it. I like that they kept that consistent. That she was still like friends with these people type of thing. Because obviously she was like seen as one of the popular girls like before and everything like that. And she mentions that like it's worth every one of my dad's pennies. Like her dad spent like a lot of money on this and doing.
She's like $500 and change. Like it was a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, and doing all of this, Danny, is running by and he inadvertently bumps into Paulina and it causes her to spill her coffee or latte, don't know which one it was, onto Valerie's sweater. And obviously she gets pissed by this. And
it's alcohol. Like she just smuggled fucking like vodka into the school.
Yeah, that'd be funny. But she commands that Quan like hurts Danny, and Quan's actually been a decent guy. Like, look, it was just an accident, but like Valerie like gives him like a nasty look and like grabs him by the collar and like says like growls at him and says like, okay, like I'll hurt him. Like Quan's only doing this just because Valerie told him to, which I think is pretty funny.
Yeah, I like that. That Quan is actually kind of a decent guy. And he just, his body is like he just kind of gets. He's like Dash, where he's like irrational. They're pretty consistent on that too.
Yeah, and yeah, Quan starts going after Danny, and basically Danny's kind of in a no-win situation here, where Dash is running after him on one side, and Quan's running after Danny on the other side, and Danny's in this like, oh wait a minute, I have ghost powers, and like obviously he uses his ghost powers to phase through like the floor over to like the lockers on like the next way over, and this causes Dash and Quan to bump into each other. I don't mind this, it's still early enough in the show. I can buy that Danny forgot, and again I feel like all of this happened so unexpectedly. There was just a bunch of stressful situations. I can buy that Danny like forgot for a second that he had ghost powers type of thing. And again, I feel like
he only really uses his powers like when he's fighting a ghost. So like here like he's just getting chased by a bully. I can buy that it kind of slipped his mind of like, oh yeah, right, that's an option.
Right, and I feel like too, Danny. This was kind of like the emergency option because he was being chased by this time by two bullies. So yeah, this was fun.
And I think it also, because remember, he had that episode with Poindexter where he kind of learned to like not abuse his powers against bullies.
Yeah. So, so yeah. Then Danny comes out the outside of the school, and he even says like, "Woo, that was a close one." And then his ghost sense goes off, and obviously this means it's time for him to go ghost. And this big dramatic music plays, and we see a shadowy like figure. We think it's gonna be like this big ghost, but it's just a puppy. AJ, this is fine. This puppy is just excited to see Danny. Even Danny's just like, I can handle this. I like that he goes for the box ghost, but not for this puppy. I guess this puppy wasn't worthy of that. But unfortunately, that's not the case. This puppy can like, I think change like dog breeds or whatever, because he obviously starts, or maybe change his age, I guess, because he's still the same breed.
Yeah, I was gonna. Well, probably just change his form, kind of like how the lunch lady does that, and like
yeah.
She seems to be like a ghost thing that they can do. They can like change their forms.
So the puppy changes form into like a humongous god dog, and obviously Danny's just kind of like, well, guess I can't handle this. Yeah, overall I thought this was a decent opening. Kind of sets up, Danny's school life still being in trouble. You get to kind of meet Valerie like properly kind of now as a character, even though we've met Valerie before, but I would say this is actually like her introduction storyline wise type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, like it's consistent with what they did before, like you said, like that she was kind of just like a popular girl in the background. That's kind of what they do at the beginning, is like she's a popular girl. She gets one of the other popular guys to go beat up Danny because he messed with her sweater accidentally.
Yeah. So overall, decent little opening. I thought it set the vibe well enough for like the episode. And then Ghost Dog was pretty cool. I liked the design of the Ghost Dog. I like that he starts off as like a little puppy and then he could just change his form. Yeah. And as we'll talk about, like, we find out the dog really isn't like a villain or anything like that. That's why the episode's called Shades of Grey. Like, no one in this episode really acts like villainous. Everyone kind of has like a reason for the motive.
Well, Vlad is stalking a 14-year-old girl, so he's a little villainous.
He is, but yeah. What'd you think of the cold? What'd you think of the cold open overall? I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Like nothing too serious. Pretty lighthearted overall. But like sets up the premise of the episode. There's like a ghost dog that Danny has to deal with. Kind of yeah. But yeah, cutting away from that after the intro. The intro is great. Always a thumbs up for the Danny Phantom theme song.
We don't know if it's young Danny Phantom or Yo Danny Phantom. The world may never know. So
it's the subtitles say Yo. It's Yo.
Hey, don't tell that to Butch Hartman. He would not like that. So
I will tell him. I'm going to call him on my phone after this video. I'm going to tell him, Yo, it's Yo Danny Phantom. Was just 14, and then he's gonna be like, "Who are you, and how did you get my number?"
And he's gonna be like, "It's like midnight, dude. Like, why get a life?" Like,
actually, I don't know. Where does he live? California? It's probably like fucking 6 a.m. over there.
Could be. So,
yeah. Or he has a very busy schedule of not really doing anything the last couple of years.
His YouTube channel. He's got his YouTube channel going, I think. So.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. So we go over to Axion Labs, I think is what it's called. Have we been here before? Because I think it's the first time we've seen it.
I think it is the first time we've seen it. I can't.
Yeah.
Because Valerie's dad like works here, so I don't know why we would have been here like before type of thing. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't think so either, but I was just making sure. Because it ends up being a somewhat recurring location. So yeah, we find out that Valerie's dad is seems to be like the director of security here. Because he's walking through the building with just like some government official explaining that like we have state of the art security. This is like the most secure building that in the United States, like nothing is going to get through here. And the government guy is like, hey, these are a lot better than guard dogs, that's for sure. Make sure to send us the bill later. I'm sure you will. For some reason, Valerie's here. Like, I don't know why she's walking alongside her dad and, like, this government official.
Yeah, that was weird, but whatever.
Because, she's obviously, her shirt's still stained. And when she finds out that, like, oh, yep, the government's going to give her dad a big old fat check for his impressive work here, she's like, "Oh yes, I'll get a new sweater out of this." Awesome.
Yeah. So kind of showing that like Valerie like kind of has a little bit of a silver spoon in her mouth, so you can just kind of get anything she wants, type of thing. So
yeah, it's like a pretty big deal. He's like the head of this like big lab. They don't ever really explain what this lab is for. Well, actually, don't they go on like a field trip here in the episode where they start dating?
Yeah, so I don't remember. I think we get more explanation of that, but I don't exactly.
Yeah, because we just know it's like a government lab. I don't think we ever like. It's like we're not really told specifically what it's for.
Because I remember like Technus goes to this lab to like so he could go and uses it to like control the computers or whatever type of thing. So
yeah, like control satellite or whatever. But again, they don't like. I don't know if that's like specifically what it's for, but like or like it does a bunch of shit. They don't really go into detail.
Hey, it's 2000. I was gonna say it's 2004, but that wouldn't work. I was gonna say they could be torturing the Alpha here, but I don't think that would work because it's.
No, I would love that. Like the government guy is like, hey, what's that over there? Oh, we're just torturing it. Don't worry about it.
It could be,
Yeah, your church in the background. Oh God, why?
And then I would love, yeah. Well, I would love it too if like him getting like not fired but ruined leads to the other director coming in and doing worse than what he was doing type of thing.
Yeah, I like Valerie's dad. You're fired. We're bringing in director Church to run this place. Yeah, so again, they're setting it up. They're like, oh man, this place is impenetrable. Nothing's gonna get through. So of course, Danny and the dog, the ghost dog, they break through the titanium doors. This dog is strong as fuck.
Yeah.
Because remember, I was thinking like they don't even like phase through. You hear like fighting noises, and then you just like see like dent marks in the door, and eventually they just like bust through.
Yeah, this dog's really strong. I guess that'd be glossed over though. Is that you said they got rid of the security dogs? This is kind of like you get they don't. Obviously, you don't get that intention, but I think you get the intention that this dog is from this facility.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was about to say it's like supposed to be like foreshadowing that they like used to have security dogs here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like because I was gonna point out like it is a little weird that they end up here like during the fight because they were at the school.
Yeah.
But it makes sense that the dog is like, well, because later on in the episode they mentioned that like Danny's the only ghost around, so the ghost dog seems to be like keep going to Danny.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that like during their fights they keep ending up here.
Yeah.
Kind of. So yeah. So they end up fighting, and Danny is like kind of outmatched. Well, Danny also seems to like not be trying to hurt the dog. He's just kind of like hanging onto its leash and getting like thrown around.
Yeah.
And like the lab is getting torn apart. But like all in like they activate like security measures to try and like subdue Danny and the dog. But like nothing's working. Like at one point, they activate like I forget what happened. Like Danny gets like thrown like near Valerie, and then she gets like covered in like dog slobber or like dog goo.
Yeah.
And then Danny. Well, she's also like, "What are you?" I do like this because I forgot at this point in the show. Remember, it's not well known that like ghosts are a thing.
Yep.
Like I mean, I think people know that like monsters are like attacking the school a lot, but like they don't know what they are specifically. Like they just like, oh shit, there's like monsters happening. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, so I like that. The fact that like ghosts aren't really well known yet or anything like that, and they have proper reactions to it. Because don't forget, like in the Ben 10 show,
aliens are just wandering around.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and I do like this that Danny's kind of like unsympathetic to Valerie in a weird way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like cracking jokes at her, and like he doesn't really fully understand like what's happening in her life.
Yeah, which I think makes sense because the only time he's probably seen Valerie was like with the popular kids, so he doesn't have a lot of, and the popular kids always pick on him and have a silver spoon in their mouth, so it makes sense that he wouldn't really like give her any sympathy or anything like that. So.
Yeah, but they like they shoot off a bunch of lasers at the ghost dog, and the ghost dog and Danny turn intangible, and then they launch like a net But I will say it's a little weird. So the net is like glowing green, and usually usually they'll have like the equipment glow green to signify it's like for ghosts specifically.
Yeah.
But obviously it's not, like, because they just like go right through the net, and then the net like ends up on top of like Valerie and her dad and like the government guy.
Yeah, so that was weird.
Yeah, so I was gonna say they probably should just color it like a regular net.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Yeah.
But yeah, and then basically Danny and the dog end up leaving the labs. Like basically like they were already fighting presumably at the school, and then they ended up tearing through the lab and they ended up leaving essentially. But like again, they don't know specifically what the dog or Danny were. So as far as this government guys knows, big ass dog and some kid just fucking tore through the state of the art security.
Yeah.
And like Valerie's dad is like, okay, so I'm guessing I'm fired, and then he's like, oh, you're not just fired, you're ruined.
Because I assumed, like, because the guy said earlier, like, you could send us the bill. I think the guy, like, helped, like, set up the security and everything like that. And obviously, like, the guy, like, gave Valerie's dad a lot of money. And then the security equipment, like, didn't even, like, work. So I'm going to guess that, like, this was, he's probably pissed that, like, all his money just went to a security system that, like, didn't work type of thing. So,
well, yeah, I think that was the idea. Is that, like, yeah, he was just hyping up that, like, oh, yeah, all this money that we spent on the security is state of the art. And then, they just, like, get torn through. And then the guy was like, oh, so all that state-of-the-art security you said you put in is, like, full of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I will say, so at next scene, we're going to find out that Danny, I guess, ended up subduing the ghost dog and threw him in the ghost zone. But, that happened off screen.
Yeah. So,
because at the next scene, Danny's like, when the ghost dog shows back up, Danny's like, what the fuck? I thought you were in the ghost zone. So it was a little weird that we saw this fight, but like we didn't actually see how it ended.
Yeah, that was weird. But yeah, overall I like this. Kind of feel bad for like Valerie. Well, I don't think you're supposed to feel bad for like Valerie yet, but like you feel bad for like I actually felt bad for her dad here because like he seems like a decent guy, like and he like
not his fault that he didn't have like ghost contingencies, because like. Again, at this point in the show, nobody really knows that ghosts are a thing.
Yeah, so I feel bad. And I, and again, I kind of like that, people still don't know what ghosts are. So like when Valerie says like, "What are you?" It makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So overall, this was a good fight. And I kind of like that it shows that the Danny getting in fights with his ghosts, like. Because you don't really see like in a superhero like show or like or a movie like this when they get into a fight it does how it affects like the lives around them type of thing because like they cause all this damage and like you never find out anything on it, so I kind of like that Danny actually did something with that. Well, like Danny and this ghost dog just went and damaged this place and it ends up like messing up with people's lives and everything like that type of thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I always like that when a superhero show kind of gives you the POV of like the regular people, like Avengers did that pretty well, where in one of the Avengers movies, like a whole fucking city got like destroyed, and one of the villains of a future movie was like a father who lost his wife and kid in like the battle, so he like blamed the Avengers. Or Invincible, Aaron Paul's character was a regular guy who was like in the background of like the season 1 fight.
Yeah,
and then he like lost his sister and her daughter in the fight, so he became a super villain and like blamed Invincible.
Yep. Incredibles too, like, the main villain that ends up being there, like, I think the house got robbed and the parents, like, killed. And, like, they like, called for the superheroes to show up, but they, like, didn't show up or something. So they blame, like, the superheroes type of thing or whatever type of thing. So
yeah. So, like, not it does happen, but, like, it's kind of rare when a superhero thing does do it, kind of. Because obviously we're focused on, like, the superhero going on these, big battles and adventures. But, like, yeah, for the average person, it's like, it must be fucking nuts that when all this crazy shit is happening and, like, people die and property gets destroyed,
Yeah. But, yeah, going through the next thing, obviously this is presumably, like, a couple days later. We're back at Valerie's house. First time seeing, I guess the first and last time seeing Valerie's house, because, she lives in a pretty good like neighborhood and everything like that, and I do like that because you'll probably talk about like the set in later. You know, it's a really good neighborhood. You can kind of tell it's like a rich community, and unfortunately, they have to sell everything in the yard sale to basically make money quick, and they have to leave the house. It's honestly like really sad because that they have to like how much like that fight like affected Danny's life. I think what I liked about it too, it wasn't like one of his main villains that he fought, like a Skulker or like a Technus or whatever. Like it was just a regular dog that Danny fought that he like couldn't stop, which I think it makes it better. Because the dog didn't end up being evil. It's just, you know, and Danny, Sam, and Tucker like ride over like on their scooters. I think they were just traveling by. It didn't seem like they were like going there type of thing. I think they were just like passing by.
Yeah. Although Danny mentions that he feels kind of guilty about what happened, so like maybe they were gonna like just like it seems like they wanted to like check in on her, make sure she was okay.
Yeah.
Which I like that. Like you said, like she's a popular girl, and like they're not like her friends, but like you know, like it'd be like if you know your classmate had like this life-changing thing happen, you'd probably check on them, just be like, hey, are you like doing okay?
Yeah. So so Tucker you know feels bad because they have to, and he kind of explains that they have to sell everything in a yard sale. And they're moving. Obviously, they have to leave their house because you see like a moving truck there. Parked right in the road. What the hell is he doing? I don't know why he's parked in the road, but whatever. You know.
But like you just hear like a guy in his car, like in the background, like beeping, like, "Motherfuckers, get into the road!"
Yeah. So what the fuck you doing in the middle of the road, dude? Like,
you know, Amity Park's a city. You should get more people like that.
Yeah. I suppose we haven't got... we got that guy in What You Want where, like, he got upset that he had to sit in traffic. Remember that guy? That was, like, a hillbilly or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if that was that guy that guy showed back up again type of thing. But,
I would love it. He's, like, the cabbage merchant of Danny Phantom. Like, he just constantly gets, like, his shit destroyed in the fights.
Yeah. But yeah, Danny, like you said, Danny says that he feels bad because if he had been able to stop the ghost dog like earlier, none of that probably would have happened. Tucker sees this as kind of like, you know, an opportunity to go on the rebound, just pick up a chick, you know, when she's down on her luck. I do think Tucker genuinely feels bad though, so I'm okay with him making that like joke type of thing. But yeah, Tucker goes over and.
Yeah, half and half. It's like some of it does feel like Tucker like genuinely feels bad for her, and the other half is like Tucker's kind of simp, you know.
Can't blame him. After what he had to go through in the episode, the episode with the dragon lady, I'm like, you know what, Tucker deserves this because you know,
yeah, he gets it for one episode, sure.
Yeah, And yeah, Tucker comes over and he tells Valley that like he feels bad about what happened, so he wants to know if there's anything he can do to help. And obviously Valley is very dismissive. She's also upset because like she's like seen as the popular girl. So like if Tucker, Sam, and Danny know that means words like spread around the school. Because again, from what she knows, they don't know like Danny. She doesn't know Danny's like half ghost, so she doesn't know like that's why they know type of thing. So, Danny even comes over, like, kind of sticking up for him, like, hey, like, he just wants to help, just like I do, type of thing. And then Sam's a little bitch right here, being like, I don't. Like, what the hell, Sam? Like, I know you're supposed to be, like, goth and, like, not really care about people, but this is, like, on the next level type of thing. This is, like...
yeah, like, zero sympathy. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Valerie said she's going to pass on the help. And then Danny's ghost sense goes off, and he says, I'm going to pass too, which I think is funny that Danny said that, because he's the one that, like, made the offer to begin with, and then he's like, and then he, like, passed. I'm like, wow, that's weird, but whatever. That'd be like me, AJ, like, offer for me to come over to help, like, clean up your yard and like, get a whole crew going.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I'm good, thank you, though. And he's like, oh, okay, well, I'm good, too.
No, I was just saying, like, then I get a whole crew to help, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm actually going to pass, type of thing. So, but whatever. Yeah. Doing all of this, an earthquake happens, sort of. The ghost dog, like, breaks through the ground, and obviously Valley's creeped out by this, and this causes, like, her to drop her dresser. By the way, she must be really strong. She's lifting up this dresser like nothing, by the way. Pretty much. Which we do find out she is, like, pretty strong. Isn't she? They say, like, because I remember in the episode where Danny and Valerie were dating, she was like a Taekwondo Do like expert or whatever. But I'm wondering.
Yeah, I was just saying she's like very athletic, which makes sense.
And yeah, she ends up dropping her clothes and they get all wet, so her clothes are like ruined now. So now she has no house, she has no she's on the line of becoming like Squidward, spare change. That's not good. So
yeah.
And Danny comes out and he's just like, wait, how the hell did you get out of the ghost zone? And you can see that the dog's like looking for something. Again, you don't really get this vibe. But this is more with hindsight because she's like sniffing around trying to find something, and Danny scratches underneath his chin, and obviously this causes the dog to change back into his puppy form, and the puppy form like still kind of kicks Danny's ass a little bit, which is pretty funny.
Yeah. But yeah, it bites Danny's leg and it's just kind of like whipping him around.
Yeah. Danny steps in dog shit doing this, so that's not good.
Yeah.
At least it's invisible. Yeah, at least it's invisible. So, and then they go into the moving van. Again, that's why.
Wait. Danny took a shit when in his ghost form. Would it also be invisible?
Only time will tell. Did they do that joke in Avatar? Like Aang goes into like not like Avatar state, but he's like, Yeah,
he's like in the spirit world. Well, I think the joke was that like from the outside it looked like he was taking a shit, but he actually wasn't.
Okay.
Like I think the joke was like. Because he was like sitting down and he was like doing this, so like everyone thought he was taking a shit, but he was actually like stepping. He was like sitting on the dragon.
Oh, okay. But yeah. So we hear like a ruckus go down in the moving van because again the guy was an idiot, decided to park the moving van in the middle of the street. So that's great, and this kind of causes like all of Valerie and her dad's belongings like to get destroyed. Like there's a lamp in there that's destroyed. I think like a bed frame in there is like destroyed. Like everything's all wrecked in there. And Valerie's dad's like, "What the hell is going on?" And I like this. Valerie's just like because she's so fed up with all this stuff. And like she actually does see Danny. I'm pretty sure she's like, and she's upset that she like sees him like again like she's like like after all the trouble you caused type of thing. And Valerie's like, okay, like, I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm going to find out. And I'll just cover the next thing because it's real quick. And then it's back at Danny's house because Danny picks up the dog and, like, flies off. And then he goes back to his house. This is the only time they're at Danny's house we're at Fentonworks this episode. I think it's this little scene right here.
Yeah, you're right.
So... and Danny throws the dog back into the ghost zone. And I guess that's how the dog's been getting out. He's just been digging his way out of the ghost zone. And I guess he's been doing this enough times because he was able to dig his way right out this time. So I'm going to guess that, like...
Well, it doesn't even look like he's digging. It looks like he's just, like, walking right through.
Yeah, so...
I was going to say, that's kind of weird. Can, like, every ghost just do that? Because, I was like, I don't know how that works.
Yeah. But whatever. I like this scene right here,
like, it's kind of important. That, like, that ghost can just, like, say, fuck the door. Because I thought it was, like, the ghost portal had to be open to go through it.
I guess...
So I guess this ghost is just, like, special. Like, this one doesn't need the door to be open.
Yeah. Well, that's why...
But I don't know, they don't do a job explaining that.
Yeah, but whatever. Overall, I like this little scene right here, seeing how... Danny's fights are affecting people. I kind of like that Valerie's starting to get curious because now this is like the second time, like, and again, she doesn't piece together that it's Ghost doing this, but she's piecing together like, okay, this is like the second time I've seen these people and they've messed up my life again. So like, what the hell is going on, type of thing. But yeah, what did you think of these scenes right here?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I like it. Considering the dog is, like, looking for something, like, it is a little weird he showed up at Valerie's house, but, like Sam says later, like, it seems like he's, like, attached to Danny.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why he's coming to Danny and then looking for what he wants. And yeah, again, I get why Valerie blames Danny, because she doesn't really know what Danny's deal is, and, like, she says later, like, she thinks the dog is his. So as far as she knows, this, like, weird, like, supernatural kid his monster dog just keeps showing up and like wrecking shit. And during the fight, yeah, like you said, it ends up in the moving van, and like all of her shit, like the shit that they're not selling, like they're selling most of their stuff, but like the few things that they are bringing to their new place got like destroyed by Danny and the Ghost.
Yeah.
So like this, as far as she knows, Danny's only shown up twice, and both times she's like ruined, like so many things in her life.
Yeah. It's really sad.
Yeah. Yep. So next scene with Valerie is it's at school, and she goes to sit with Paulina, Dash, and Quan, and like they're getting excited for the Humpty Dumpty concert that's coming to town. I do like this because this ends up being a recurring thing that like a very popular band at the school is Humpty Dumpty.
It's not Humpty. It's Dumpty Humpty. AJ, what are you talking about?
I'm sorry. Right.
I like that.
Humpty Dumpty.
Well, I like that like T-shirt design. There's like it's like a broken like egg or whatever it is, or like I think it's meant to be like Humpty Dumpty, but it's like obviously not. It's like it's a really bad branding because they were like wearing like the T-shirts, like Paulina, Dash, and Quan type of thing. So
yeah. But Valerie goes to sit with them, and they're like, "Oh, hey Valerie, are you getting excited for the concert?" And she's like, "Actually, I had to like sell my tickets online because like we're really strapped for cash." And like I had to help pay for like the moving truck, and everybody else, and all the popular kids are like, "Ew, hopefully whoever bought it isn't like a loser," because like if we have to sit next to, whoever bought your tickets, if they're gonna be sitting next to us.
Yeah.
And like Valerie goes to like sit down, and they kind of just are like, yeah, no, not happening. So basically, like now that Valerie's like poor, and like can't really like, like she's like. Can't really like afford cool stuff like them. They're just like kicked her to the curb. So Valerie goes to sit alone. And even like Tucker. I do like this where Danny and Tucker are just like chowing down their food.
Yeah.
But then they're kind of like see her and they're like, oh, we feel kind of bad. Those guys were pretty shitty friends. That like now that she's like not rich anymore, they just like kicked her out. And Tucker was like, "Hey, we should like go invite her over here." And then Danny and Sam are like, "Nah, fuck her."
I do like this though, just because like showing how the kind of shows how bad like the popular kids are. Kind of weird. Quan was a part of this because he seemed like a pretty decent guy. I feel like he would be at least a little bit more like sympathetic.
Yeah, I figured he would be kind of like, I mean, like who cares? And then the other two would kind of get him to shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden, like Tucker goes to sit with Valerie and like chat with her, and again she's kind of shutting him down. Like, look, like I get it, like you don't have to remind me that I'm not popular anymore. Like, just let me eat my shitty bag lunch in peace. But then the ghost dog shows up, and starts wreaking havoc, and then Danny, I do like this where Danny's like, oh wow, who let the dogs in? And then Sam just like evil eyes him, and he's like, "Get it? Like the song, who let the dogs out?"
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go. And Sam's like, "Yeah, well, when you come back, hopefully you have a better joke." Okay, this was kind of funny, but I'm like, Sam, what fucking crawled up her ass this episode? She's been like shitty to everybody.
Yeah, I don't know what happened this episode. So,
yeah, Danny transforms, and he goes to like fight the ghost, and the ghost is kind of like sniffing around for something.
Yep.
Actually, I don't remember how this concludes.
So, I will say I do like Valerie in this episode. Like, yeah, she's lashing out at Tucker, but I don't think she's really lashing out at Tucker. I think she's just pissed at the situation that she's in.
Well, yeah, again, she just kind of like leave me alone,
Yeah. Yeah. So the way this fight ends is the lunch lady tries to get like a shot in there, and yeah, how this happens is I think the ghost dog is just like happy to see Danny, so he like runs at Danny and like they like tackle and like they go through like the wall and everything like that type of thing.
Oh yeah, okay, that's right. Yeah.
And then like
the cafeteria, and then Tucker drops like their ghosts. And Valerie's like, ghosts, like, geez. That gets her like piques her interest. Now that she like knows what they are, she kind of has like a more specific like hatred.
Yep, makes sense.
Yep, and then at home we see her like new crappy apartment. And like very small, like, and it's like very dirty, and like you can tell like it's not great. But the dad is like, hey, some good news. I got my old job back, kind of. Where like I'm gonna, while the lab is getting repaired, I'm gonna be like, on security. And but then it's like you're thinking like, oh cool, he got his job as like head of security back, where you're like he's in charge. But then like he points to his uniform, and it's like he's a security guard now.
Yeah, that's really sad.
Yeah. And she's like, oh well, hey, on the plus side, if this doesn't work out, you got a uniform to be a mailman.
Yep.
I will say, yeah. So pretty, like he lost his job as like the boss, and now he's like just has to take the pity job of like being the guard. And later on, they say he's like the only guard there. So I'm like, god damn.
Yeah, the poor guy. I will say what I also like about this, like, because the pub is shitty, like the neighborhood is shitty, like it's like like a highway and everything like that, like not the best like neighborhood or anything like that. So.
Yeah, but then before the dad goes to work, he's like, "Oh hey, by the way, you got a package from Wisconsin." And obviously, if you've seen bitter reunions, who's in Wisconsin. Because she opens it up and she gets a letter with some stuff in it, and it says, "Heard about your ghost troubles. Hope this helps. From Vlad." And I do like this where Valerie, she's like so angry and pissed off with how much her life has gotten worse because of the ghosts that she doesn't even like question it. She's like, "Vlad, I don't know who you are, but I will take this."
Yeah,
and it's like ghost hunting equipment. And then you see Vlad again. He's just like he flew all the way from Wisconsin to just stalk this 14-year-old girl.
Yeah, I guess so.
We're on a fucking list,
And Bertrand, he's on a list too.
So it's like I'm gonna age up my fucking nephews so my fucking cougar friends can date them.
yeah, like I told you about the other day. Yeah, and don't forget Bertrand too. Like with
oh yeah. Him, yeah.
He's on a list too. So, yeah, there's probably a lot of people that we've covered in shows that are on like a list so far. Yeah, overall, I like this.
That like, well, I'm glad Vlad's coming back in like in an indirect way, because Vlad pretty much is like the big bad of the show. So I like that it's like not just him showing up whenever. It's like he's also got some like plans in the background, like he's gonna basically like he's basically turning Valerie into like his agent indirectly to like fight Danny.
Which I do have to question why this, because I mentioned this before. Like Vlad literally could like take Danny, but I'm gonna guess the whole reason that Vlad's doing this is because Danny blackmailed him like last episode. So like maybe he feels like he can't really. Like,
yeah, well, it seems like he doesn't want to like fight Danny directly because obviously the blackmail. But also because like we actually kind of do get a follow up on this, where he's like reviewing footage of Danny. Remember in the clone episode,
yeah,
where he mentions that using Valerie, he's been spying on Danny for months, and then he's like trying to like clone Danny.
That's right, yeah. So
it seems like it seems like for this he's been keeping tabs on Danny, which makes sense because we knew like those like bird ghosts and like Skulker were working for him. So he's probably just like been using some ghost minions to like keep eyes on Danny.
Yep.
And then he because of the ghost dog thing that's been happening, he found out about like Valerie and like her hatred of ghosts. And like you said, she's like pretty athletic and she's like a martial artist and whatever. So he's like, oh, you know what? I could and she's like a classmate of Danny's. So she's like, you know what? I can use this girl as like a pawn, to like fight Danny and like test him and like keep tabs on him.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. Makes a lot of sense. And like you said, he's cloning Danny, so it makes sense that he wants to do this. So I like this a lot. And again, I like that Vlad. I like that this is how Vlad comes back in like a really indirect way and everything like that.
Yeah, because he doesn't talk at all this episode, but like you just see him in the background and he's like pitting Valerie against Danny. It's cool.
I'm guessing his voice actor just was on break that day, so
yeah.
Maybe he took a sick day.
Yeah. But I was gonna say he got Valerie's old actress. You know,
Yeah.
he's a little embarrassed by his art. I'm not gonna talk for a little bit.
Yep. But yeah, I like all this. And they kind of did this in the threes, which is what Butch Hartman likes. We've seen 3 fights with the ghost, have Danny have 3 fights with the ghost dog that messed up Valerie's life, and doing this, you could just see Valerie getting more and more aggravated. So, I like this.
Yeah.
Then we're at the poke. Not the dog poke. I thought it was the dog poke, but it's just a regular poke. And Danny's obviously confused about why the ghost dog keeps coming back to him. And Sam even says this ghost dog has some type of connection to you. So if you're kind of like his owner, you need to train him because he's still like a dog at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So Danny is cool with this. And again, I don't know what was up with Sam in this episode. She goes to take off, and Danny's like, "Wait, where the hell are you going?" It's like, "Duh, I can't be seen hanging out with a ghost kid." And you already seen, apparently there's a bunch of people at this park. What the hell are you talking about?
This was the moment where I was like, "What the fuck?" Because Danny's talking to her, and then she's just not paying attention. She's kind of got resting bitch face.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Here's a dog book. Fuck off." And Danny's like, "Where are you going?" And she's like, "I'm not going to be seen with a ghost kid." And I'm like, "What the fuck? Where did that come from?"
Yeah, I don't know what the hell was up with Sam. I don't know what's it.
Yeah, Sam was just an asshole this episode.
Yeah.
And I think I said it going off camera, as a kid, because I haven't watched Danny episode the episodes in a long time. And as a kid, I liked Sam, but she was my least favorite of the 3. I liked Danny and Tucker more. But 10 episodes into season 1, I kind of hate Sam. She kind of sucks.
Yeah. I think
now, don't get me wrong, we still have plenty of show left. They could have some good Sam moments. But, at least for now, I'm I don't like Sam.
And don't forget, we've had this episode of the premiere where she's been. And don't forget, the premiere is all her fault that actually even happens and everything like that. So
yeah, they tried to set it up like it was Sam and Tucker, but I'm like, no, it was just kind of all Sam.
Yeah, so which made Tucker's character bad that episode too. So
yeah, well, I think it also doesn't help that Tucker had had some really good moments. He had the PDA thing with Skulker, and he had that whole episode where we kind of got a bit that he was jealous of Danny's powers. So we've had a good amount of Tucker focus, whereas Sam's just kind of hasn't really had much, and when she does show up, she's kind of either causing issues or being an asshole.
Yeah. So, and like we said, we haven't had a Sam focus episode yet. So
yeah, that's why I'm saying obviously subject to change. We have plenty of episodes left, but at least for the first half of season 1, Sam is not great.
Yeah. But yeah, so Sam takes off, and Danny starts to read from the book about how to train his dog. So, he calls the dog over, and he tells the dog to stop, and we find out that the dog's already trained, which was obviously a little bit of foreshadowing, and which Danny even kind of calls out as weird. And we see off in the distance, somebody's watching this, from really high tech ghosts binoculars and everything like that. We see that Sam's also watching this on binoculars. And I don't think this was binoculars, by the way. I think it was obviously, whoever was doing this getting ready to shoot Danny and everything like that. Because then we see a Mitchell pop over. Sam sees this Mitchell and doesn't warn Danny about it or anything like that. Doesn't say
Well, I will say I do like that line she says, it's, normally it's boy and his dog. She says ghost boy and his ghost dog.
Yeah.
And I forgot to mention earlier when Danny threw the dog in the ghost zone, he said, "All right, bye, Cujo," which is that's a Stephen King novel about a evil dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Maybe Danny was reading that, I guess. So
yeah.
They really picked the best time to read it, I guess, for Danny. So
yeah.
I wonder if Danny will ever read a book again. He reads a Stephen King novel.
Everybody gets one. That was my one book.
But yeah, the missile nearly hits Danny. And obviously, Danny's wondering, who the hell shot this missile? So he kind of, he puts the dog down. He's looking around, and when nothing shows up, Danny's like, "What the heck was that?" And then we see, from the point of view of whoever did this, we get to see Valerie sued for the first time, and really like the design. It has like a little like glider, not a glider, but like like what the Silver Surfer. Yes, I can't believe I'm making that reference. Uses like a surfboard type of thing.
like a high tech. Well, I guess to make like the Green Goblin glider essentially, but yeah, it's like a surfboard shape. And it functions like the Green Goblin glider, where like it shoots lasers, and like whenever she falls off it, it'll like catch her.
Yep, and she's got a really cool suit. It's it's all red, and it's very high tech, which I really like. And Valerie says like, "Don't worry, you don't really have to worry about this." You could definitely tell that Valerie's new at this because her one-liners obviously aren't very good, kind of like Danny's was in the beginning when he started.
I will say I like that they have her mess up like several times. Like obviously she just started this, so like she's not very good at it. And I like that, like Danny season 1. I think we said like episode 1, a little too much.
Yes.
Like it was like 99% screw ups, and it's like, all right, it's getting in the way a little bit. But like after that, it's been like pretty good. Like I like seeing Danny like not be perfect, like he screws up, and then seeing him get better. Likewise, it's nice to see Valerie like kind of make mistakes, but like it's not too in the way.
And I can buy, also that again.
Ray's like. I said Ray from Star Wars is like making mistakes. I can't even conceive of this. What do you mean you aren't perfect at literally everything first try?
Who at Star Wars?
Ray, you're not there yet.
Okay. I will say too, I think it makes sense. Like Valerie probably didn't do a lot of training. Like her hatred of ghosts, I think she just wanted to like go just deal with this situation like right away. So she didn't really like do the work for it type of thing. I think she was she was in a bad place and she was venting. So I think she wanted to just take out her anger on Danny. Probably should have like started with a Ninja Ghost, like maybe like the box ghost or like I don't know, like the bird ghost or.
I would say it would have been nice if we had Valerie like, because I don't actually think we ever really see Valerie hunting ghosts aside from like Danny. It would have been nice if we got a couple like moments of like Valerie hunting down like other ghosts like like you said like the box ghost or somebody else.
Yeah. Well, she could start out like. Obviously, like, and just go right after Vlad right away. That would be something. Take the, Zelda approach where you could just go right to the boss level right away, and you get your ass kicked right away.
Yeah. You fucking have like 3 hearts and you could get killed by fucking being sneezed on too hard. But you're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go fight the final boss right now.
I guarantee you someone's probably done that and fucking won somehow, too. So,
with Zelda? Oh, yeah, people have done that. I mean, fucking I could never be that good, but other people have done that.
Yep. But
I can't believe you did Zelda reference. That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, so Danny is surprised to see this person, and Valerie starts chasing after Danny. This is a really good fight. Like I said, I do like that she's messing up. She's just like laying off like missiles and bombs across Danny, but they're missing every time.
I like that. Like, it's like mistakes in the, like when she fires the gun, like the recoil, like throws her off the surfboard and then like it catches her, or like like the throwing stars or like whatever they are. Like she tries to throw it in like a cool movie way, but like the way she threw it, like they all fucking went in different directions.
Yeah, like you said, the throwing stars. She tries to throw them, but like you said, they all end up messing up. She also like can't really like keep her balance while she's like flying on like the surfboard or whatever. You could tell she's like losing balance a little bit. You see her like stumbling a little bit. Yeah. And go ahead.
I was gonna say like, okay, she fucks up the throwing stars, but like one of them did end up like accidentally kind of grazing Danny, and he was like, "Oh, that hurt," and he was like surprised, like, "Oh, wait, shit, that hurt."
Yeah.
Kind of. So, like, the equipment is, like, legit. Like, it's, like, built the hurt ghost. Because we saw at the very beginning, like, all that high-tech government equipment couldn't even touch Danny or the ghost dog.
Right.
But, like, this stuff can.
So Valerie, they do a commercial break where Valerie has Danny at gunpoint and is about to like kill him. But luckily, the ghost dog shows up. And I didn't mention this, but when we saw the ghost dog earlier, he was like, in his puppy form, but now he's like in his guard dog, like humongous form. And he takes Danny, and he grabs Danny by the. He loves to bite Danny's legs, like feet. Apparently, this dog has a foot fetish, I think.
Quentin Tarantino called.
Yeah, and so the ghost dog, is just dragging Danny, and Valerie's trying to shoot Danny, and this is where what you mentioned happens, where she gets where she hits the tree, but then the surfboard goes to retrieve her, and so then the ghost dog and Valerie there's a chase scene, and then they get to the a section where there's bushes. Sam's just watching all this happen, by the way, not really doing much to like help Danny out or anything like that. So
Sam's like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, and obviously Sam's confused by all this, and Danny's trying to figure it out, and he throws a ghost he throws a ghost ball. What he does is he uses like his ghost laser and like forms it into a ball and like just tosses it, which was pretty cool. And the ghost dog runs over, thinking that it's a ball. He's probably gonna be very disappointed when he finds out that ball is not a ball. So
yeah, I know, right? Just fucking blows up.
I would have loved it then if he started like actually going after Dan like monstrous, like, oh my gosh, you could fool me thinking it was a ball type of thing.
I was thinking about Red versus Blue. Remember, like Tex through that flashbang, and then like the Blues are like, oh hey, you dropped a grenade. It's like, oh no, it's not mine. Oh fuck, somebody threw a grenade at us. Yeah, we probably should figure that out sooner.
Yeah, but yeah, obviously, Sam grabs Danny like there's no time. We gotta move, and obviously Valerie, like, we didn't really see what happened. Valerie's like, no one's keeping me now, and I guess we saw that Danny chains off camera, and we see that Sam and Danny are just making out now. And obviously Valerie is just like, oh, that's gross, loser love. I always knew you two would end up together, and she like flies off. And obviously Sam's like suspicious about this. Like, that almost sounded like Valerie. I like how she said almost, like maybe she was just too used to the other voice actress, I guess. So it's like, yeah, that almost sounded like Valerie. So
I do like that. I like that they like pieced that together pretty quickly. I actually forgot that they pieced it together that quickly, Like, I thought Danny figuring out it was Valerie was like at the end of the episode.
Yeah. And then doing all this, Danny has like obviously a smile on his face because he just got kissed out of nowhere, and Sam has to like kind of talk Danny back into reality and be like, Danny, like, that really wasn't like a real kiss, right? And Danny's like, yeah, of course not. It wasn't a real kiss. Kind of weird because obviously because the next episode's Fan in the Flame, so it's kind of weird that that's the next episode and this just happened type of thing. So I don't know kind of weird. But yeah, overall, I really like this first fight between Danny and Valerie. Like I said, it's a lot of Valerie making mistakes, but a lot of it's Danny kind of dodging. Interesting, Danny didn't really try to fight back, considering the fact that he didn't know this was Valerie, like, at least at the time type of thing. So it's interesting that Danny didn't try to fight back. I would have had maybe Danny like fight back a little bit. And then, when he finds out that it's like Valerie, then he can like start to hold back. But it's interesting Danny like didn't try to fight back type of thing.
Yeah. And I will say, I'm glad we have a human enemy for Danny because, pretty much all of Danny's rogues gallery are like ghosts, which makes sense. That's like the main premise. But it's nice to see, a human in there because pretty much besides Valerie, for human enemies, all we got are like the guys in white who suck, and then like Freak Show only shows up like twice.
Yeah. So
I like that because with Ben. Obviously not at this point in the show, but like, Danny, Ben's got a pretty good mix of like aliens, like wizards, humans, mutants, like a pretty good mix of like all over the place. Whereas Danny's like 99% ghost enemies.
Yeah, it would have been cool if like they could throw in some human ones in there and everything like that type of thing. So
yeah, because like Vlad doesn't count, because obviously he's like a ghost as well.
Yeah. So. Well, don't forget these.
Yes.
These. Oh, by the way, we have to add in. Is the ghost dog a ghost? We really have to make that list. I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah. Okay, so like as we're gonna talk about later, the ghost dog was obviously a real dog who died and became a ghost dog because he's 100% added to that list.
Yeah, I'll add him later. So.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's the next day. They're in the hallway. And they're kind of just like talking about what happened the day before about Valerie, and it's like, where the hell did she get all that like equipment? Because obviously, like I said, it like actually hurt Danny in his ghost form. And then she shows up, and again, Tucker's trying to like still flirt with her. And then like Danny's like trying to like persuade him not to, but he's like not listening. And, you know, again, she's kind of just, like, not really interested. She's like, don't talk to me. Like, I just want to be left alone. You know, she's not being too rude. She's being kind of rude. But, like, you know, like, not too bad. You know, again, it just sees her. It's more so seems like she just wants to be left alone.
Yeah.
But, you know, she kind of gets her interest piqued. Because, you know, like, Danny and Sam kind of walk off. Because they don't really want to talk to Valerie. But, you know, Tucker mentions, like, hey, did you know that, like, Danny's parents are, like, famous ghost hunters? And then that kind of, like, piques her interest. And then she, like, starts to play into Tucker's, like, flirting a bit more. It's like, hey, Tucker, do you want to carry my books for me? You know, so, like, obviously she wants to learn more about, like, the ghost hunting.
Yeah.
Makes sense, you know, because, you know, as we said, she just started. And, like, she's obviously, not great at it. So I think her, like, that's cool that she, like, wants to learn more about it.
Yeah. And I like that Tucker brought this up naturally because obviously Tucker got filled in with everything that happened the day before. Like, Valerie drops her books and, like, Tucker, like, sees the books because it would be weird if Tucker, like, brought this up, like, really randomly. Like,
yeah, it was like, she had, like, ghost hunting for dummies. Oh, yeah, I guess I don't think he knew exactly what happened yesterday because in the next scene when they're in, like, the science lab, it's him being like, oh, whoa, Valerie's a ghost hunter?
Yeah, so...
So I guess they didn't fill Tucker in, like, that it was, like, Valerie, and that's why she was interested in ghost hunting.
Yeah. But I do like this. I kind of like this kind of fits the theme of Shades of Grey, because, like, everyone, you know, the theme of the episode is, like, no one's really a villain in this episode, but, like, this is kind of where, like, Valerie kind of is crossing that line, because, again, she's only really showing interest in Tucker to get, like, information on the ghost hunting.
Yeah, she's, like, him.
She's what? Because you cut out there.
She's just, like, obviously using him.
Yeah, so...
Because, like, next scene, they're at the basketball game, and Dash is playing. I guess Dash is just, like, on every sports team.
Just like he's, just like Mr. Lance is every teacher.
Like every teacher, yeah. Although I do like this, because, you know, it's, like, showing that, like, they do, like, normal kid stuff.
Like, they tried to, anyways.
Yeah, they tried to, but I just like that. You know, I like that they went to like a school basketball game. You know, it could have been anything. They could have been at the Nasty Burger. They could have been at Danny's Room.
Yeah,
but, you know, I like that they like, you know, are like mixing it up a little bit.
Yeah, and I could buy this because like it's early enough in the show, like because I'm pretty sure later on in the show, like that's a big complaint with like that's what Split Image is about. Like they can never like find the time to like, you know, obviously do kid stuff. And I like the fact that Danny's early enough into his powers where he still could have that balance because he doesn't have like a lot of enemies yet, type of thing. So.
Yeah, but Tucker shows up with Valerie, and he's like, "Hey guys, can we sit here?" And Sam and Danny are immediately like, "No," and then Tucker gets pissed off and he's like, "Well, we're gonna sit here anyway." Or he's like, "Oh, of course we can," and then they sit down.
Good for Tucker sticking up for himself right there. Like,
yeah, I do like that. But Tucker is like full simp mode.
Yep.
And then Valerie, now that like, you know, because she's only been using Tucker to find out about Danny's parents, and now that Danny's here himself, Valerie's immediately like, "So, Danny, your parents are ghost hunters, huh? That's cool."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the thing is like, the whole episode she hasn't wanted to hang out not just with Tucker, but like not with Danny and that whole group. Now that like, you know, Tucker even told him that like, you know, she like wants to talk with Danny about like, you know, ghost hunting and everything like that type of thing. So
yeah. That's kind of it for the scene, really.
Well, there's the fight at the basketball scene.
Oh, okay. I'm including that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I thought I included that.
Yeah, the dog shows up again. And again, like I said before, it seems like it's kind of looking for something. Danny's trying to like get it under control. It becomes a puppy again, so like it's kind of working. That it's not really trying to hurt Danny. It seems to kind of like him actually.
Yeah.
But then Valerie changed very quickly. And then the ghost dog, when it's in its puppy form, gets like shot with a net and it's trapped, and it's of course Valerie, and she's gonna attack Danny, and she pulls out her own version of the Fentothermos. I like that this one's like kind of red.
Yeah, I like that too.
And again, it's kind of a funny moment where she's trying to like open it and like suck Danny in, but she like can't get the lid off, and she's like, "Come on,"
I can't buy that this would be happening. Someone probably put that shit on there like tight. It seems like it's new. Like that shit's tough. So
yeah, I know, right? Probably just got fresh out of Vlad's lab.
I like to think that Vlad like closed it real tight just to fuck with the type of thing. Because why not? So
yeah. He wants Valerie to beat Danny, but he's also like, I'm gonna fuck with her a little bit.
It's like it's like is it Higuchi and Death Note where like Rem was like helping him, but like not really helping him at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. We do a little bit of trolling here. And then Tucker's like watching because they're like behind the bleachers, and Sam and Tucker are like on top of the bleachers watching it. And Sam's like, "Oh, hey Valerie, that's Valerie." And Tucker's like, "Oh, Valerie? I guess I'll just fucking swan dive on there."
And Riverdale
from the top rope.
I was gonna say the Riverdale joke actually, because you told me that yesterday with the swan dive. So
yeah.
So can't believe that. Can't believe that happened. Like,
I gotta send you that clip. It's hilarious. And then I think this is kind of weird because like Valerie tries to keep a secret identity throughout the from this point onward, but like. So basically, like, Tucker slams onto Valerie and, like, knocks her to the ground. And then he's immediately like, "Oh, hey, Valerie, nice suit." So, like, Valerie should know that Tucker knows,
Yeah, exactly. This is... Yeah, they don't...
But, like, later on, obviously, like, in the episode where Danny and Valerie start dating, like, Valerie, like, keeps it a secret from Danny.
Yeah, so...
But I'm like, okay, so, Valerie, you clearly don't have a secret identity.
And wouldn't she be worried that Tucker probably told, like, Danny and Sam type of thing?
Well, yeah, I'm saying, like, she should assume that Tucker, like, fucking blabbed to everybody.
Yeah. I don't know why.
So that's...
Yeah, that is weird.
I guess that's more so a future episode's fault. But I don't know. I feel like it's kind of this episode's fault. Because, again, this episode also treats it like it's a secret identity.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, Danny takes this moment to pick up Valerie. And he kind of just, like, slams her into... he got a slam dunk.
Yeah.
He... trapped her in the basketball hoop and just see like she's trapped there. And he ends up taking the fight out. He ends up taking the ghost dog outside.
Yep. Although I like this fight, I don't think it's this. They do like 2 short fights here, pretty much. This one's pretty solid though. I like the fact that you find out the dog's looking for something. I
was gonna say, I feel like too many short fights in this episode, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's like 5 fights in this episode, and they're all like kind of short. They kind of just like blend together,
Yeah. Then we're back to the next day. It's in the school lab, and obviously Danny is whispering to Tucker, being like, "Look, like you can't still like her now that you know that she's a ghost. Like now that you know she's hunting ghosts and everything like that." And Tucker, like you said, is in simp mode because it's like, so what? A girl that I like likes me back. What's wrong with that? And Danny
doesn't actually like you back,
huh?
And it will also, Tucker, you're wrong. She doesn't like you back.
Yeah, I kind of wish. I guess because the episode just would have run long. I'm kind of shocked they didn't have Danny like say that type of thing.
Yeah, you figured Danny was something. She doesn't actually like you. She's just like using you to find out more about ghost hunting.
Yeah, but whatever. And Danny then like says like, "It's not you that I don't trust. It's your hormones that I don't trust." And they're like waving.
Like I do like that line.
Yeah, and they're like waving to each other, and then obviously.
Sorry, I think I said it, but like out of the 3 main shows that we do, Avatar, Danny, and Ben, I think Danny Phantom is like the funniest.
Yeah, so far it's probably been the funniest. So
there's a lot of good like one-liners,
Yeah. And then, Danny's ghost sense goes off, and we hear the ghost dog, like, going, like, barking in the background. So, like, Danny and Valerie both asked to be excused. Which I like that, like, in school, like, two people couldn't go to the bathroom at the same time. I remember, like, always one person would, like, go, and, like, you couldn't go to, like, that.
Yeah, I remember. So weird.
Yeah. So then, obviously, we see off camera, they, like, changed, and, we're in the middle of a fight, and, Danny's like, out of all the people that Tucker could have liked,
yeah, he says like 279 or 249 girls in the school.
Yeah, he picks the one with the ghost weapons and the grudge.
Which that's not a lot, really, when you think like that seems like a big high school. That's really not a lot.
Yeah, well, he did say girls though, so maybe there's more guys than girls.
Probably like around the same amount of boys. So there's probably like 500 students total. Like it's really not a lot.
Yeah.
Like for a whole school. And remember, Amity Park is like a city.
Yeah.
Like that's not a lot of people when you think about it.
I don't know. Maybe some people weren't making kids.
That was like 3 floors.
Yeah. So, it has a pool. I think it's one of the floors too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Owen. I think there might have been like there was like 200 people in my graduating class, let alone the entire school. And I went to a fucking small school.
Yeah, so. But yeah, so Danny does a really cool thing with like his ghost laser where like he makes it almost like a sword type of thing and like reaches it all the way and like shoots it and like reaches all the way to Valerie. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, this fight was a little bit too short, I think like you said, I would have taken like I said, there's 5 fights, they're all really short. I would have taken, like, maybe cut one of the fights and just make one of the other fights, like, really long type of thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, like you said with Butch Hartman, he does, like, the rule of 3. I would have done it, like, well, I mean, okay, so, like, keep the first 2 fights with the ghost dog.
Yep.
Maybe skip the cafeteria one.
Yes.
And then, do the first one where Valerie shows up. Cut it down to 4, maybe. Like, maybe 3.
Yeah. And then, but Danny's actually starting to feel guilty, he does say, like, this is my fault, like, kind of, I kind of, put her in this position, and maybe Danny's thinking, like, maybe if I can figure out what to do with the ghost dog, like, maybe all of this will kind of stop type of thing. So, he tells the ghost... because the ghost dog is looking for something. Danny tells him to fetch whatever he's looking for. And he ends up back at, Axon Lab. And Danny's also confused, like, here, what you're looking for is here. And he has a couple of people about to walk by, so Danny covers the dog's mouth, and they both go invisible. And, we see that the government guy and Valerie's dad walks by, and I like this. Earlier, like Valerie's dad was really confident about like his abilities, but now that like he's kind of on thin ice, I guess that one's a thumbs up somehow. So
I was gonna say I'm just like itching my nose. I don't know why I've considered it a thumbs up.
You're doing it with your thumb, man. That's. And
now I don't get it.
Yeah. But now he's kind of like trying to like, really impress himself towards this government guy type of thing. And he's like, hey, I hope everything's going well. So he's like really nervous now. And, the government guy's like, everything's going well so far. Maybe I'll think about reinstating your contract. I like he says, maybe I'll think about it type of thing. Like, not definitely, and it's not even maybe reinstate your contract. Like, maybe I'll think about reinstating your contract type of thing. So, this guy's an asshole, by the way. Like, I can understand the beginning, but, him and this could be Sam's father, by the way. We haven't met Sam's father yet in this point in the show, so we don't know.
Yeah. This is Santa's real father, Mrs. What's Sam's last name?
Manson?
Yeah, Mrs. Manson was stepping off the reservation with this guy.
Yeah. And, Mr. Manson, whatever this guy's name is, we could add this guy to the list of unnamed characters.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right.
Now, potentially we could add Valerie's dad, but well, we're gonna wait on that one because
He gets a name eventually.
yeah. But for now, we can put him on there, I guess. And Mr. Government Guy is upset that that with himself that he's like, I knew he should have gotten rid of those guard dogs. So this kind of like gets Danny thinking like, okay, so this is where this dog's from. This is one of the old guard dogs from here. Which this is pretty sad. So I guess they just killed. When they say got rid of all the guard dogs, that obviously means they just killed all the guard dogs. I guess, right? Because they said.
I thought they just like, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I didn't get that implication, but maybe.
I'm also thinking that because it's a kids show. I'm thinking they say got rid of, and usually in a kids show that means killed, but they don't want to say killed type of thing. So
yeah, just like phased them out. I just figured this guard dog died of whatever. Like it just got old and then died.
I hope it's yours. I hope it's not the one I'm thinking of. So
yeah, I mean I don't know. I assume they didn't euthanize them just because they were phasing them out. That'd be really weird.
Hey, he's just being so mysterious about it.
Like give these guard dogs to like new homes, but he's like, nah, kill them, and they're like, why? I don't know, fuck them.
Maybe because this guy keeps saying like get rid of, but he kind of seems like a little bit of an asshole. So I could kind of buy that he would just do that type of thing. So
yeah, maybe.
I don't know, but
they're like animals. I slaughtered them like animals. I hate them.
But obviously Danny's surprised, because Danny knows he's gonna have to come back here later. So he's like, wow, so Valerie's dad's the guard here type of thing. So, yeah. Even though that didn't really end up like playing. I guess that worked out because like Valerie was there, but that didn't really play into like, because like that was supposed to be like a big reveal for Danny, but like he's not even like there when Danny goes there type of thing. So that was kind of weird. So whatever.
Yeah, later in the day, the ghost dogs kind of chill with Danny. And because like Sam and Tuck, because they're talking about breaking in the lab to like figure out what the ghost dog wants, because they figure ghost dog's looking for something. If they can find what he's looking for, he'll like go away peacefully.
Yep.
And Danny's like, okay, kind of problem with this is that if we're breaking in, Valerie's dad is the guard, and like Sam and Tucker are like, yikes, because Danny already feels bad about like getting the dad fired from like being the head of security. So they're like, fuck, if we're like caught breaking in like successfully, then that's gonna get him fired from this job,
That's true. Yeah, maybe that's why Danny felt bad. So
yeah, so he's like, okay, we gotta like not get caught going in.
Yep.
And for some reason Valerie's there. Like, so basically the dad's like on a security job and Valerie's just like with him, like doing her homework.
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess Valerie can't watch herself, I guess. So
yeah, I was like, that's really weird. You figure she'd just like be at home.
Yeah, but I guess not.
And basically Valerie's dad is like, hey, look, I'm gonna like go grab some food, okay? I'll be right back.
Leave it on the
and
job.
They do. Huh?
Leave it on the job. Maybe he does suck at his job. He's leaving on the job. So
yeah, I know, because that's like a thing later. It's like he rushes back because he's like, oh fuck, if I'm caught not doing my job, I'm screwed. Well, okay, so it's also like they mentioned he's the only guard there, and I'm like, why? Like, okay, I get you like kind of cut funding from this place or whatever because you thought the security sucked, but like this is still like a very high tech lab. You figure they would have more than one guard.
Yeah, maybe they just want to like really fuck over this guy because they gave him all this money, so they're just like, fuck it.
Imagine my job, like they wanted to fuck me over, so like, all right, Talent, you're the only security officer tonight for the entire person. I'm like, okay, so you want all these guys to escape or something? Like what the fuck?
Yeah, maybe they wanted Valerie's dad to fail.
Yeah, I know. Like you want somebody to fucking break in and steal all your high tech shit just so you have an excuse to fire this guy again.
What a coincidence! The fucking government guy's fucking there, like at the end and everything like that. You think he would have gone home? Like,
yeah, what it seemed like he was just being given a tour because he like funds this place, but like he's just like been here every day. I'm like, why?
I think he's just waiting for Valerie's dad to slip up.
He's waiting for Valerie's dad to like spill his coffee on the ground to be like, "You're fired, get out."
With this,
he's just like around the corner, like, did he fuck up? No, not yet. Did he fuck up?
Is he the Adam of Danny Phantom?
Yeah, corner, like as soon as Valerie's dad fucks up, he's like fucking sprinting over.
I love it.
It
sucks. This guy doesn't come back ever.
I know, right? Maybe he does. We just forgot, like the lieutenant in Avatar.
Yeah, because he was back for one episode, so for like 2 seconds.
For 2 seconds, and he got a name.
And I forgot it already. So
it was like G or something.
Oh, so not even a full name.
Yeah, just G. Yeah, we're like, okay, we gotta think of his name. And he's like, I don't know, G. It's like that's a letter. I don't know, fuck it. But yeah, Valerie's dad goes to like get them food. And they do a joke. They did it earlier in the episode where like or later in the episode, I forget, where like Valerie's like gun like went off like in her bag. Like she like not like accidentally elbowed her bag and like the gun went off inside of it, and her dad's like, what was that? And she's like, nothing. But yeah, Danny and the ghost dog break in, and then I forget what happens exactly, but like the alarm gets tripped, like Danny accidentally shoots. I don't know. I think Danny and the dog just show up, and then Valerie goes to like attack them.
Yes.
And then Valerie's gonna sue, and she's like shooting her gun at Danny. They do a slow-mo shot. Didn't look very great because you could already tell it was just like still images of Valerie and Danny. Then they just kind of like dragged it across the screen.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Because they were trying to do like a Matrix thing, where they were like diving like in slow motion, but like they weren't moving at all. It was just like a still image, and they just slid it across the screen.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah, C- for effort. And like Danny's like shooting, and at one point the laser like goes over Valerie, and like some rubble gets knocked onto her, and she's like, "Ha, bad aim," because Danny said that to her earlier in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And Danny's like, "Yeah, well, I'm not trying to shoot you."
Mm-hmm.
So I do like that, where Danny's like kind of trying to like indirectly get her to stop, but like not actually hit her.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Well, because he like feels bad for her that he kind of is responsible for her doing this, and also like, unlike his other opponents, she's a human, so he's like not trying to actually like hurt her.
I wanted to if he's like, because if he's not trying not to like set like an alarm off or anything too, because like
Yeah, because later on, like it's actually one of Valerie's weapons that like shoots the alarm and like causes it to go off.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if like this fight he's trying not to hurt her because. For the reason you said, but also because like he doesn't let him to get caught and Valerie's dad to get like in trouble. Because again, that lieutenant guy is just gonna be right there. So
yeah, again, he's just waiting around the corner, like, did he get in trouble yet? Did he get in trouble? No.
I like that this is okay because he's probably around the corner seeing this happen. He's like, oh, I guess he can't get in trouble because they're not.
Well, it's okay. So because we were talking about regular show off camera. There's one episode where like fucks over this one guy, and he's like. At the end of the episode, the cliffhanger is like he's waiting in the bushes, and it seems like next episode he's gonna like do something to fuck with Pops. But then they don't like come back to that for like 3 seasons, and then just like randomly in one episode, they like mention like everyone in the park is like, "Hey, what about that guy who like hates Pops in the corner?" And you just see him in the bushes still, like saying, "Not yet, not yet." So like it's been implied for like 3 seasons he's just been in that bush, like for his moment to attack Pops. And like everybody's like aware of him being there. They just like haven't said anything.
I love that.
Yeah, we got to do regular show eventually. That show's hilarious. Or like in Adventure Time, they like Finn creates a robot, and then like it goes to live with Finn at the end of the episode, but then it like doesn't show up for like 2 seasons. And then for one episode, they're like digging through like some trash, and then the robot's there, and he's like, "You found me after 14 months of hide and seek. You finally found me." And like, oh fuck, we totally forgot we were playing hide and seek with him.
That's awesome.
So I love that when the show like addresses like they like kind of forgot a character and then just bring him back by saying, "Oh yeah, he's just been like in the corner this whole time." Well. You mentioned in the Phineas and Ferb guessing game that, where that like background guy, they actually made him a character that he's always just like just around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, one of Valerie's shots hits Danny, ends up like phasing through a couple walls. And Valerie thinks she beat Danny, but he ends up getting knocked into like this old kennel area, like presumably it kind of just like was in a locked room. They kind of just like, forgot about it.
Yeah.
Because Danny sees like it's like a bunch of like old like crates, and it's like an old kennel area. And Danny's like up against the wall, and he like notices something in there, and he like grabs it, and he like kind of like smirks, like he like realized like, oh, well, this is what the dog was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the main lab room, the ghost dog is like attacking Valerie. And it's gonna like it has her like pinned down. It's gonna like eat her. But then Danny shows up and saves Valerie, and he's like, "Hey boy, this is what you're looking for, right?" And it's an old squeak toy. That's kind of sweet. That the dog was like it kept coming back looking for like its favorite toy from when it was alive.
Yeah, I like that.
And then Danny's like, "You want the toy? You want the toy? Go get it, and then go back home and don't come back."
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the ghost dog turns back into a puppy and like grabs the toy, and then it just kind of like fades away. I like that where because like normally the episode ends with Danny, sucking the ghost into the thermos, but this time it just like went back to the ghost zone naturally. Like Danny didn't have to actually capture it.
Yeah, I wish they would do that a lot more actually, which would be nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would be kind of nice if the ghost dog doesn't like disappear or anything. It would have been kind of nice if that was like a plot point of like Danny could like help these ghosts like find peace, and they would just like fade away.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But I kind of like, ruins the chance of them coming back.
That's the whole thing of Spider-Man No Way Home, right? Like
yeah, he's like, trying to save them and like take away their power, so when they go back home, they're not like killed.
Which is, I wonder how that changes those movies, but whatever. So.
But yeah, I was gonna say that would like fuck with that movie didn't really address that. That would like fuck with everything. Because like, okay, so like, Dr. Octopus, he mentions like the moment he gets sucked into the new Spider-Man world. It was like right when he figured out Spider-Man was Peter Parker. But like right after that moment, Peter convinces him to like destroy his own machine to like save the city.
Yeah, so he would destroy the
machine.
machine.
Like, yeah, I was gonna say like he kind of needs to die to like save the city. So like if he just went back to that moment without his powers, then like New York is fucked.
Yeah,
because like he has to die to like save everybody.
Yeah, so that sucks.
It's like, or like if Green Goblin doesn't die, that changes like everything. Because if you remember, like Harry kind of has a whole character arc.
Yeah,
he becomes a new Green Goblin, and like that would kind of fuck with everything if he, if the original Green Goblin didn't die.
Yeah, but anyhow, but yeah. I do like we see the ghost dog like again in the video game, like the Globs of Doom video game and stuff.
Yeah, well, actually, I was gonna say, does the ghost dog come back in the show?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I remember he came back in the video game, but I didn't know if he came back in the show.
I wish he could have come back for like, Rainstorm. Like he could have been like helping Danny type of thing.
Well, I was gonna say, they kind of keep making jokes in this episode that like, oh, it's Danny's dog because like the dog is like really attached to Danny.
Yeah.
It would have been nice if Danny actually like kept it.
That'd been cool, yeah.
Yeah, kind of would have been like because Danny Phantom is very inspired by comic books. Would have been like Crypto and Superman or Ace the Bat Hound and Batman. It kind of becomes a thing where like superheroes will occasionally take in like pets.
Yeah, that would have been cool. And then like one of the episodes, like you have to find out how to hide it from like Jack and Maddie or something. That could be cool. Like,
yeah,
but whatever.
Or like in Alien Force. There's like an upgrade, like there's like a dog upgrade, and like it's set up like Ben's gonna keep it, but his girlfriend ends up like keeping it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and like it becomes like armor for her, so she could like help out with Ben occasionally.
That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, again, it would have been nice if like it doesn't have to be in every episode, but it would have been cool. It could have like helped Danny out in some fights.
Yeah, maybe Tucker could have kept the dog or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say like have like Sam or Tucker keep it.
Maybe based on how Sam was this episode, have Tucker keep the dog. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Sam would be like Sam would piss off the dog, and the dog would just run away.
Not just run away, go monstrous, eat Sam probably. So.
Yeah.
The Tucker. By the way, the dog was gonna eat Tucker this episode. By the way, like I don't know if you remember that. Like it went monstrous and like was gonna eat Tucker.
Oh yeah.
It's like wow.
But at the end of the episode, the ghost dog disappears, and Danny, I like this, kind of like extends his hand to Valerie, and he's like, "Hey, listen, like, I'm sorry about what happened. It's not my dog. Like, like I do feel bad about what happened, but like I'm not like your enemy here, and like not all ghosts are bad. And I do like this where you think Valerie's gonna like learn something from this because she like takes Danny's hand and like picks herself up. And then she just like fucking judo throws him to the ground, and she's like, I'm sorry, and because Danny said like not all ghosts are bad, and then she says like, well, not all humans are saps, and she's gonna like attack Danny, but then she realizes that like her dad's coming back, and she's like, oh no, my secret identity that I totally don't have because Tucker knows who I am, and then Danny's like, yeah, okay, well, go fuck yourself, bye. It was kind of weird. Danny gave this whole speech about like, hey, listen, I'm sorry, and like, I'm not your enemy. But then he's like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah. I guess because she attacked him, I guess. So whatever.
I guess. But then Tucker is like, I'm going to help her out. And he kind of just strolls in. And he lets one of like the security nets attack him to make it seem like he was the one who set off the security.
Yeah, which was cool, I guess.
And then, Valerie's dad and douchebag come in, and they're like, oh, it was just a teenager who set off the alarm. So douchebag is like, all right, because the security worked this time, I guess you're, I can't fire you yet. You're on thin ice there, pal.
I like to think he's I like to think he's always on thin ice.
Yeah, exactly. He's even when he was really good at his job, he was still on thin ice.
Yeah, he was just waiting.
Yeah, he's the one who lured the ghost dog here. He's the one who put the toy in the kennel.
Yeah.
He'd be like, all right, any minute now.
But yeah, what did you like?
I like that, because before Valerie was only being nice to Tucker to like, like it was being fake. But here she like actually like smiles at him and is like thankful that he like took the bullet for her. Yeah, and I do like that line where Tucker was like, "Oh, hey, your dad's a lot bigger than I thought he was gonna be."
Yeah.
I kind of liked it. That this episode kind of ended with like, like Valerie appreciating Tucker, but like they don't really do anything with this after this because
they do the Danny.
Valerie ends up being of interest for Danny.
Yeah.
So it's like, obviously this didn't, and I don't think Tucker really interacts with her in any meaningful way after this. It's like, they don't have to be love interests, but it would have been nice if Tucker and Valerie kind of became like somewhat friends.
Yeah, that would have been nice. I thought so. But yeah, I liked all this fight here. I like that, the Valerie plot doesn't like end. I actually like the fact that like, obviously they leave it open-ended of it continuing and everything like that. So that she's definitely gonna come back and be Danny's.
Well, yeah, like the very end of the episode like heavily implies that she's gonna be back.
Yeah. But let's get to the ending. So back at the school, Tucker and Sam are like pressing Danny, being like, "Do you know where the dog went?" And Danny's just like, "Nope." And then Sam's just like, and Sam's question's a little like a bitchy right here. Like, I gotta try to play it safe now that like Valerie the ghost hunter's like around. Like, Sam, what the fuck was wrong with you this episode? Like,
yeah. Sam's upset because she wanted to kick the ghost dog. She's upset she didn't get her fucking daily puppy kicking in.
I guess so.
You know what? That ghost dog died because fucking Sam killed it originally. That's my new headcanon.
Sure. I said it was like that government guy, and you just went the Sam route. So.
Yeah, no. Well, it was both of them. They had a team up.
Yeah, well, like we said, that could be Sam's dad.
Father. Yeah.
And Valerie walks by. She's still mad at the popular kids, and I guess she's mad at Tucker now and everything because she kind of walks back. She walks by like Danny's like group, like kind of mad too and everything. And Danny's like, they say like, I just wish I knew like where she got those weapons. And then you see Vlad come over, and
Vlad violating his fucking parole. He should not be anywhere near a high school.
Yeah, and he comes over with a box for Valerie, and then disappears. And because that Valerie like walked by like that second. Can you imagine like one of the teachers or something like walked by?
I was gonna imagine like Dash walked by and he like Dash fucking picks it up.
Yeah, but Valerie
Dash the ghost.
But Valerie picks it. I assume this is gonna be like a weapon for her. Like, I don't think we ever find out like what's actually like in this box, right? Like they never do anything.
Yeah, just like more ghost weapons, I guess.
Yeah, kind of would have been nice if they actually did something with it. Like we found out like what was in the box, like in an episode, but whatever. And then Sam says, I guess Sam had to redeem herself somehow this episode. Like, hey, like I don't know where she got the weapons, but she did get some money from some tickets she sold, and Danny's just like, wait, you bought her tickets? And then you see that they're at the Dumpty Humpty concert. I guess Dumpty Humpty didn't have a great fall because they did pretty well.
Yeah. Well, I'm more wondering, like, why did Valerie have 3 tickets?
I don't know.
Remember, Valerie bought a ticket for herself and sold it. You know, so it's like, why did all 3 of them go?
I don't know. Yeah, but whatever. And yeah, they're jamming out.
An asshole. She's like, I'm buying 3 tickets just so other people don't get to go.
I guess so. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. And then obviously like Paulina, Quan, and Dash are upset that like they have to sit next to them now and everything like that, and like
But I do like they're like, oh, I can't believe we have to sit next to these losers. You know, like I like that Danny, Sam, and Tucker are calling them losers.
Yeah, which is nice. A nice edit to the episode. I would have tried. Obviously they wanted to end it like very kid friendly, very lighthearted, but I would have changed the ending and have it like with that Valerie ending, like her coming back type of thing.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it was very random, that they just decided to go to a concert and they have a good time. And I'm like, again, I like that like Danny and his friends are doing like kid stuff, they're having a good time. But I was like, it was just very random.
Yeah, but whatever. I assume like maybe like because maybe Danny thought she just used the money that like this probably made Danny think she just used the money she got from the concert tickets to like get the ghost hunting like weapons, but like I guess
how fucking expensive are those tickets, man?
I don't know.
You're like, oh yeah, no, I sold my fucking concert tickets to buy a fucking nuclear device.
I mean, there's real front row seats though, so so. But then again, I don't think Dumpty Humpty is like a big. I think it's implied it's not really like that big of like a band. I think it's just like an Anime Park like small local band type of thing because like they play.
Oh man.
Because I remember, I'm pretty sure they're like playing in like the end of season 2, and they're just playing in like their high school. Unless the band like fell off or whatever like after that.
Yeah, they had a real big drop off. Well, I just remember in the episode with Danny, like Danny's cousin, the clone. She's like listening to like a Dumpty Humpty CD, and like I think Danny has like a poster of them in his room.
That's true. So I don't know.
So I assumed they were like a bigger band, but yeah, you're right. Maybe they just had a really big fall off.
Yeah,
reminds me like Gray Star was like and Jimmy Neutron.
That's right.
I think they were just in the video game. They were just like playing at like this like empty like hockey rink.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's the end of the episode, though. I'm gonna grade it first, and then I'll let you grade it. I'm gonna give it an A-. I liked it. I liked Valerie as a character. I think what knocks it down is I would have had like a little bit more time for the fights, and Sam just was a bitch this episode. So like it brought it down.
Yeah, Sam was a bitch this episode. The fights again, they kind of just blend together. Like I think there's too many of them. We got like 5 or 6 fights. And they're all kind of the same of like, yeah, like you even said, like the ghost dog bites Danny's leg and kind of just throws him around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have cut that down a little bit. I would have had more time with Valerie interacting with the group, that bit where she's like kind of using Tucker and like hanging out with them. It would have been nice if that got expanded on a little bit because that was only like one scene.
Yeah, I would have liked that. But it's got some good stuff going for it. Like I like obviously the Valerie stuff. Again, like I like that everyone's acting shades of gray, like the ghost dog, Danny himself, and then like obviously Valerie herself. And even Tucker, because he's like aligning with someone that's hunting Danny. Even Tucker's acting shades of gray. Well, Sam's just acting like a bitch, I guess. So.
Yeah, she's a kid of black.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, really strong episode. I like the Valerie really hit it out of the park as like a quote unquote villain type of thing. So overall, and then I like that. I like that we got to see Vlad's plan now that we actually like know more context behind it, like what it is and everything like that, which is cool. So, anything else you want to say about this episode?
No, not really. I agree. A-. Good introduction to Valerie. I'm glad she's established as a recurring character, and I'm looking forward to future episodes with her.
Yep. But yeah, that's it for videos for the week. AJ and I did 3 videos in a week. We don't typically do that because of his job, so that's great. Anything you want to plug or promote before we get out of here?
No.
Obviously, I'll just plug it again. We're gonna be doing Evil Dead next week. Evil Dead 2. I'm gonna be sitting down and watching that at some point. Then we're gonna be doing Evil Dead 2. Then we're gonna be doing Star Wars: Return of the Jedi the following week, and then after that we'll probably be going back ham on Danny, Avatar, and Ben. We'll probably start with Ben first since we haven't done Ben in a long time. So
yeah, I agree. But that's pretty much it. We will see you guys later.